first thing on this movie was to go to New York.
We visited New York and did a scout there, and there is remarkably little of New York 1926 in New York today. There are bits of New York where 1926 still is in evidence, but as a totality it isn't.
And we realized pretty quickly that it would be much more useful to build New York rather than go to New York and film bits of it and then try and change it.
So it was easier, more controllable, more manageable for us to build it here, where we don't have to deal with permissions, we don't have to deal with blocking off traffic, etc. And we can create it as we want it.
It was very deliberately designed to give us a sense of whole neighborhoods. The sort of top of the T, which is the basic form of these streets, was Bank and the Makusa building, and then coming further down to the bottom of the T, the tenement buildings in the Lower East Side. Off to the side of that, there's another street with brownstone houses, but also it was possible always to drop in a green screen and extend that environment. So if you were in the tenement world, you were able to extend the tenement world before transitioning to the other look. And so it makes the canvas huge.
Even though it's the largest set we've ever built, still we will make it seem even larger with this blend of more classical buildings and then these sky rises appearing behind. And we wanted to create that within a single frame. And it was easy for us to do that here with the New York we're going to build, coupled with visual effects.
For a set like this, we will come out here, and it was just a muddy field, and we will put down the markers and we'll mark the whole thing out. So it's a big, big layout. So we'll see the full size and scale of it. And then I'll start bringing in the rigging team, who will build the scaffold structures behind which hold up these facades. Whilst that's ongoing, the guys are in the workshop, they'll be manufacturing the walls. Like most of these walls here that you look at are made out of 3x1 timber and plywood. Over that, we will then put the finishes. It'll be plaster sometimes, it might be foam, and then we'll apply it to the walls. We had 15 weeks to build it from start to finish.
That's good.
We got up to 104 carpenters, 90 so plasterers, 40 painters, 30 riggers, scenic artists, sculptors. It was a big, big crew.
The scale of extras, the scale of the set, the detail of the set, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It's incredible. There's all these amazing period details and all the beautiful signage that used to be all over New York. It's really wonderful to experience the time warp of it.
You know, we've got different areas on this set. This is more the tenement area. There's a slightly nicer area where Queenie and Tina live. We've got a bank district, which is behind that green screen there. It's been great to see it come together the last few days. And actually, on Thursday, one of the notes we gave her, it was all a bit sparkling clean. Boy, they've messed it up brilliantly to make it feel more like a tenement street.
When we had the vehicles travelling around some of the set for the first time, it was a euphoric feeling, seeing all these cars, and the drivers all had a grin ear to ear, and it brought this set to life. It just adds to a reality. Most of the cars we could source from the UK and Europe. A few of the cars was shipped in from the States. Each and every car's got its own sort of personality and quirkiness, so I think we've got our own museum collection at the moment, which is amazing.
The green tram, essentially, it's a milk float cut in half and with some garden benches inside it. One of the earliest references we looked at was a Harold Lloyd video from 1928, and those trams are absolutely everywhere. Tim and I really wanted to come up with a way with the action vehicles guys of getting something that we could get people on, have them visible, and then we'll put the shell of the tram on the outside of it, but we get all the people in there.
3, 2, 1, action.
I've never done a crowd as big as this before. I mean, we've had 600 in one day. We had bankers, we had a lot of tenements, we had Lower East Side, we had horse drivers, we had vendors, we had all sorts.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
We have to make sure everybody looks as they should look. I mean, it's August, but we have to make them look cold. So everybody has to have gloves on, coats done up, hats on, scarves wrapped round. And with that vast amount of people, they do tend to undo their coats or take their scarves off and tuck it in their pockets. So we have to make sure it's all on from the beginning for that sake. And also we have to make sure that nothing modern's on, because sometimes they forget to take their watches off and then suddenly somebody lifts their arm up and you've got a digital watch. Not a good move.
Background is part of the story and the palette that sort of sets the tone for the principles in the world. You see it even if it's subliminal. It's also a really fun part of the design process because sometimes you can do stuff on crowd that you cannot do on the principles.
What's lovely is everyone's alive and there's a lot of colour and there's a lot of life. We want to sort of feel we're in amongst it.
David Yates wanted an authenticity of the period. He wanted a real feeling of the frenetic energy of New York and a real feeling of the texture of people from all over the world coming together and making a city.
We were on one of the little golf buggies that you travel around Leavesden on, and we were going out to see New York. And I'm chatting to the person I'm with, and we turned around a corner, and I saw New York. And I had this complete, all-over coals feeling of, oh my God,